So you're looking to move to the outskirts of Charlotte and have pinpointed Belmont as a possible location. Well, before you make your final decision, I'm going to give you a 10,000-foot view of Belmont and give you a little bit of the insights, the ins and outs, and share with you where exactly it sits and some of the major advantages that it has if you live in the area. And stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to share with you some interesting information that may change the trajectory of Belmont as we know it. I'm 𝗖𝘁, your Charlotte, North Carolina real estate expert and the upstate of South Carolina. If you've been looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, you've come to the right channel. Be sure to like and subscribe and be the first to know about all the changes coming to the Charlotte region. Now, we really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites from people just like you looking to make the move to the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So if that is you, drop down into the description below. All of our contact information is there. Whether you are making the move in 9 days or 90 days, whether you're coming across the world, across the country, or just across town, we're here to make your move exactly what you want it to be. Welcome to Belmont, North Carolina. You are here. So the first thing I want to do is show you guys where Belmont is in proximity to Charlotte, as well as the state of North Carolina, as I know some of you are coming out from out of state, so you're not quite sure where this sits. So here we have the state of North Carolina, which you guys are probably fairly familiar with. If you haven't seen it, it's right here. So we have a fairly large state. Of course, if we're taking a look at Belmont, which sits right here, there are a few major cities that are in very close proximity. You've got Asheville up in the mountains, which is about 2 hours from Belmont, give or take. Actually, probably closer to about an hour and 40 minutes, I would say. You've got Greensboro in the north, Raleigh-Durham out here, Fayetteville, which is also a military base, and then you've got Wilmington out here to the east. Wilmington is on the coast. Now, south of here, you've got Columbia, South Carolina. That's one of the other major cities. And then you've got Charleston a little bit further out. So let's talk about timing for that. So it's about 2 hours to the Raleigh-Durham area. It's about 3.5 hours to Wilmington, probably close to 3 hours and 45. Then it is 3.5 hours to Myrtle Beach, which nobody goes to in North Carolina. Don't do it when you move here. Northerners, I'm talking to you. We don't go to Myrtle Beach. You go to Wilmington or Charleston, never Myrtle Beach. And then we go to Charleston. Charleston, beautiful city, also 3.5 hours. So it's in a really good spot. Now, the mountains are this whole region right in here. We've got the Great Smoky Mountains, which I absolutely love. They are gorgeous, and you can get to them pretty quickly. You can come up north here and go to Boone, or you can come out to the Asheville area like I mentioned. Now, for those who like casinos, we only have really one area, and it's all the way out here in Cherokee. So if you really want to drive, you can certainly do it. So let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at where Belmont sits in relation to the other areas of Charlotte. So right here, we've got obviously Charlotte, North Carolina proper. Now, this is the 485 belt line. This goes all the way around Charlotte. This inner belt line is actually this big. It's 277. This is 485. Now, 485 is a 70 mile an hour 4 and 6 lane. It does interchange here a few times. 4 and 6 lane highway that completely encompasses Charlotte. Now, the cool thing about this, it makes it much quicker to get just about everywhere. I know my friends say that I think I can get anywhere in 20 minutes, but it's kind of close to being true, maybe a little bit closer to like 30 minutes, but you can get all the way from the north side all the way to the south side in about 30 minutes, whether you go this way or you go that way. So it's kind of nice, and vice versa. Now, where this plays a role is this is Belmont right here. So if you come in, if there's any area that you need to go to around Charlotte, you can jump on 485 very quickly and get wherever you want to go. In addition to that, right at the top of Belmont, you've got I-85. Now, I-85 runs, it doesn't seem like it, but it runs north-south. Fun fact, if it's an odd number, it's a north-south. If it's an even number, it's east-west. You never knew that before, did you? Now you know. So technically, it does run north-south, even though it kind of comes in horizontally through Charlotte. And then you've got I-77 that comes this way, which also, again, runs north-south. Now, 85 will take you all the way into Durham. It'll also take you all the way down into South Carolina. And 77, follow that north, you're going to go right up into Virginia. So What makes this particular location so special? Well, if you take a look at where Belmont sits, it's close to Lake Norman, it's close and right on, should I say, Lake Wylie and the Catawba River, as well as Mountain Island, which we'll talk about in a second. But your proximity into Charlotte is very close. Now, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit further to show you where most people are going to go to work. So some of the main locations or hubs, if you are going to a business center, you've got this hub right up here, the first biggest hub is right down here in Ballantyne. All right, so Ballantyne is the largest business park in Charlotte. The second largest is right here in South Park. And the third is right up here over in University. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of other places where you could potentially be commuting to. But when we're looking at this, Belmont actually is kind of a nice happy medium between all three of those locations. In addition to that, having the closeness to 45 is going to be a win. Now here's your downside to this particular area. I'm going to show you this to you right now. It may actually pop up, but here's your biggest bottleneck right here. I'm going to go ahead and use my little cursor here. Your biggest bottleneck is going to be right here, and literally it does look red in the evening and it looks red going this way in the morning. Why? Right around here we have where the road starts to narrow. It goes, actually it's right about here on I-85. So it goes from a wider road to a narrower road headed this way, which is why you get traffic right here in the afternoon. The other reason is right here. You get a lot of traffic coming down 45 and merging on, and this merge right here onto 85 going west is a total bottleneck. It goes from 2 lanes down to 1 lane and then merges into the interstate from that 1 lane, and it's heavily trafficked. So you're gonna see some traffic here. Here's the win. You're right here. It's like maybe a mile, I take that back. It's about 2 miles. So you're not going to be on I-85 very long before you get into the Belmont area. So I think that's one of its biggest advantages. Although you've got traffic, which you're never going to avoid in any city, it's minor, very, very minor, because you're hopping off right here, like literally right after you get off the interstate. Now, the other thing to note with this, there will be a few other bottlenecks in Charlotte that I'll also point out to you guys right now. So other big bottleneck is going to be basically this whole section, morning, noon, and night. Your next big bottleneck is going to be right in this section right here, usually on the outer belt line in the morning, inner in the afternoon. There will be a really bad backup all the way up this way on the inner and outer, morning and night. Guys, I'm talking about usual rush hour traffic. And then your other one is to the north, which I'm going to mention because some people do also work up in here. Starting right about here, headed north, you're going to have a bumper to bumper. That's going to be there. And this is the only toll lane available, is right through here, right up through this way. So you can take the toll if you choose to. The toll actually goes all the way into town. I have never had to take it all the way into town. From this area right here, pretty much right here all the way through, I've never had to take the toll lane. It's always wide open. So use it when you need it. How does that relate to Belmont? Well, a lot of people live in Belmont and work elsewhere, but I also know some people that work elsewhere and live in Belmont. It is a very ideal area. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features of Belmont. Now, as you can see, Belmont is surrounded by water on multiple sides. So you've got the Catawba River that basically goes all the way around on both sides and flanks this. I find this to be absolutely darling, but there's a downside to this. The downside is you're surrounded by water, which means in order to get here, the only way that you're going to be able to do it is to come down and in. Now, as you can see, there are a few roads. So this road kind of cuts up and through and up this way. It's pretty much the only main road that comes into Belmont. The other main road comes up and through this way and also connects down into Charlotte. Now, this is going to make your commute time, if you go to the airport at all, it's like 10 minutes. So you're boop, boop, right into the airport. It's phenomenal. This is the Charlotte International Airport right here. Your commute is so, so fast if you live in Belmont. Crazy fast. Now, one thing I want to note though, if you're going to live in Belmont, this is the biggest positive. Look at all of the lakefront property available in this area. I've had more than one client who have purchased property in Belmont. They are all on the lake. You're going to get some incredible prices here too, because it's on the Catawba River. So part of that is going to get you better pricing. Also because it's not one of the main well-known lakes. Where you're going to see your highest lakefront property costs are going to be on Lake Norman, which is to the north. It's the largest man-made lake in the southeast. As you can see, all these little finger lakes right here, this means lots of lakefront real estate. Very expensive. Your next one is going to be Mountain Island Lake, which is right here. It obviously, as you can see, it comes down off Lake Norman into Mountain Island. It's very small lake. And then it trickles down here into the Catawba River. All right, so the Catawba River system is what connects all of this and provides the water. And then from there, it goes down into Lake Wylie, which is far smaller even than Lake Norman, which is why Lake Norman is more desirable. So if you take a look at the water mass there, definitely much larger. So the advantage here of being in Belmont is you could get a really competitive price on lakefront property. Upside, you get a great price. Downside, a lot of the homes are older, so you may have to renovate. But that I just think is fantastic. I love the properties out there in Belmont for lake. So another thing to note, as I mentioned, you've got this little connection right in through here that pops down. When you come down this main road, it doesn't dead end. It keeps going down to more properties, but no one ever stays straight. Everybody takes a right there, and everybody takes a left back out, because it's this main thoroughfare that's going to take you all the way down and over into other areas of both the town of Lake Wylie, which is right down here, as well as up into Cramerton and other areas of Gastonia to the left. So definitely worth noting of where you're going to be driving and how you're going to be doing it. So let's talk a little bit about the town itself. So this is the little downtown of Belmont. I absolutely love it. So the little downtown starts right up here off of Woodrow Avenue, and it comes all the way down and around this way, down past Stowe Park, and right through here. So there's a few other things that I'd want to point out too. There's other buildings off of these streets. So you've got this right here, which is actually an old warehouse. You can see it's called Chronicle Mill. They have completely renovated this. This is something that's very popular and is done quite often in our region, where these old buildings are converted. Now, part of it was converted, the other part was made brand new, but as you can see, this is the old mill. They've renovated the whole thing, and now it is this beautiful apartment complex. You can see those tall ceilings. That's because it really was from the old mill. I absolutely love it. It's so quaint, and it's right up the street in walking distance to two breweries, as well as right here you've got Jekyll and Hyde. You've got some phenomenal food spots right along here. This is actually a great little spot. It's called The Station. So it's a restaurant and bar, but it actually used to be the train station. So right here is the train comes, and it still comes through. It's an active railway. So right down through here, you've got your pet hospital, you've got your barber shop, Cherub's Cafe. I'm going to shout them out because their food is great and their reason for existing is amazing. So Cherub's is owned and operated all by those with special needs. So a lot of the funds that you see here, the profits go to help special needs and employ special needs. But here's the thing, guys, their food is so good. So I usually stop in here for lunch. I also want to focus in on some of the houses. So if I zoom out a little bit, as you can see, there's a lot going on all around this way, from shopping and dining all throughout there. And then you have I-85 right here. So this is very close to that little downtown area. Now the homes in and throughout this region, or this little area, let me go ahead and pull up our little guy and drop it down on the map. Many of these homes are older houses. I'm talking the 1920s. This one's one that's being renovated right now. Some that are smaller, some that are bigger. Many of these homes are older though, and they are so gorgeous to go drive past. So just up the road from the little downtown area, you have beautiful homes just like this. Now this one is not alone. There are dozens just like it all in and around, but there are other properties that may be better suited in case you didn't want a 1920s home that may need a little bit of extra work or upkeep. So if we zoom out from the little downtown here, you can see there's plenty of neighborhoods all around. Now, many of them look like more planned neighborhoods, and if that's something you're looking for, this may be one of the neighborhoods for you. Now, as you can see, these homes are a little bit more tightly spaced, which means you're gonna have less upkeep, less to do, but these homes are still quite gorgeous. I'm gonna share with you some of the styles. As you can see, a little bit more of the craftsman style in and throughout this neighborhood. This is pretty common throughout Belmont. Now from there's a few others we may want to take a look at. Now before we do, I want to point out the proximity from the little downtown over to the high school. Check this out. So this is the Stuart Cramer High School, just over the border from Belmont. We've got the high school right here. We've got soccer fields, tennis courts, awesome football field, stadium, as well as your softball and baseball fields. I will say sports are prominent here in the Carolinas, so high schools are decked out with everything you'd possibly need for any sport you would want to play. Now, going right back into here, I wanted to share with you some other neighborhoods that might be a good fit. Now, if we come a little bit further south, you're going to find another school, which is the South Point High School. So this is the other nearest high school. Now this one, once again, you've got your soccer fields, your football fields, your tennis courts, everything you might need. And as you can see, this one is right down off of Point Road. So Point Road is, as I mentioned, that main thoroughfare. I'm going to highlight this real quick. It's one of those main thoroughfares that comes right through Belmont, all right? So that's going to be right off of it. So if we take a look down here, there are a lot of different neighborhoods. Most of the homes sit on these beautiful half-acre lots. But if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, there are plenty of homes that sit on quarter-acre lots or more. So one thing with Belmont, there's a lot of options. Now, in addition to that, if you're not in the realm of wanting a newer home and you want something maybe a little bit older, take a look wherever you see trees, you're going to have older homes. The cool thing is there are a lot of beautiful, mature neighborhoods in and throughout Belmont. So there's a speckling all over the place, and as you can see, still a lot of unused land that will be neighborhoods at some point in the future. Now you could be a little bit closer into town. As you can see, there's a speckling of older homes, most smaller, all throughout this area. Now you either have the larger home from the 1920s or you have more of a smaller bungalow or mill house that would be sometime in the 40s. Now it depends upon what you're looking for. You've got new as well, but if you're looking for older homes, these are very, very common. Now the further south you come, as you can see, the less homes there are until you get all the way down into the tip here. And there are some really cool little neighborhoods that have been put in. Now, there have been plenty of neighborhoods that have sparked up over the last couple of months and years that you're going to see. One of the most prominent ones is Reflection Point. Now, Reflection Point does still have lots available. They have a beautiful amenity center right here that you can see. And as you notice, it is surrounded by Lake Norman. So all in and through here is all Lake Norman all the way around. Now, one of the downsides of Reflection Point is you do have high voltage power lines that go directly through the development itself. However, this can be done fully custom. So you have homes in here that are, 2.5 million. You've got homes in here that are $1 million. There's a lot of different options for what you want to build, but they are all fully custom, and there are still some lake lots available. So as you can tell, there's still a lot of land to be built on and a lot that's already happening. Now, Belmont does have plenty when it comes to recreation, plenty when it comes to schools, hospitals, everything else. There's also a hospital right in that area. There's also a beautiful hospital that just opened right up over here, right here. So Caremont Regional Medical, this is a beautiful new facility. It literally just opened. I mean, just opened. I think these are still there we go. I was gonna say, I think it's still computer generated. So these are some of the models. These are actually live photos. It's so pretty. This is a brand new medical center. It is only about 10-minute drive from Belmont, which is wonderful. And then you also have access, of course, into Charlotte if you need any medical. There's a lot of places to live. I feel like it feels a little bit more rural, a little bit more laid back, but here's one of the biggest advantages to this area. Getting in now, there's so much more to be built and so much more that is going to be put in here, as well as the potential, which is really cool. There's been talk of having an extension going into Belmont and from another area of Charlotte. So when and if that does happen, this is going to further explode the area. So if you get in sooner, you have a better chance of taking advantage of that. I hope this video brought you value. If you've got more questions about the Belmont area or surrounding areas, drop them in the comments below. We really do read all of our comments, so be sure to drop one in there. And I said it before, but we really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites from people just like you looking to move to the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So if that is you, drop down into the description below. All of our contact information is there. Shoot us an email, give us a call, text. We're here to help you, whether it's 9 days or 90 days, whether you're moving across the world, across the country, or just across town. We want to make your move everything you want it to be. So until next time, I look forward to showing you around town. So you're making the move. There's a lot of videos that you can be watching, like this one right here, or maybe even this one. Really either one of these, but honestly, watch both of them because they're gonna help you make the move. Go ahead, pick one. They're both really good.